Hello folks, this is Vlad aka Whiskey Foxtrot. Today I'll be taking a look at the Nitro 5 by Acer. This is the Ryzen 2500U model sent to me by AMD for the purpose of a review. I'll be taking a look at the aesthetics and of course performance. And welcome back. I'm not gonna spend too much time on unboxing. There's not a whole lot to talk about there. Acer did a good job at keeping the excess packaging to a minimum, and good job on keeping it simple yet effective. Alright, let's get it out of the box. Like we have the power brick, and that must be the power cord, and a spare set of HDD upgrade screws. Great, so that means there is a slot available for an SSD or HDD. Product manual and a quick setup guide. Standard stuff. Yeah, the laptop feels pretty light. Okay, let's get this all cleared up, and so we can take a look at the laptop itself. So here we have the Acer Nitro 5 gaming laptop. It doesn't look necessarily gaming. It doesn't scream gaming with overdone designs. It looks pretty slick. Let's take a look at the ports. On the left side we have the RJ45, USB type 3.1, type 1, HDMI, USB 3.0, and an SD card reader. On the right side we have headphone jack to USB 2.0, and the power plug or the power port. Lots of vents. The exhausts are towards the rear, and it's actually pretty light. Alright, let's get it plugged in. So the cover is has a carbon fiber texture. On the inside it is smooth, and you can see the backlit keyboard, WASD keys with a red highlight, same around the mouse on the trackpad and right below the screen itself. So one thing that impressed me is the sound.
Next up, the legal stuff. In short, you'll need to select accept to use Windows. You can decline, but then, you know, no Windows.
Accept. So the sound quality is good, you know, enough clarity in the low, mid, and the high frequencies. The panel is a 1920 by 1080p IPS panel, LG variant. It is powered by Radeon RX 560X, slightly updated model from the previous 560M, and it also has 4 GB of dedicated GDDR5 VRAM just to keep the gaming up. Speaking of gaming, let's get on with some gaming. First up is CSGO, and for this video I'm gonna leave everything as out of the box. Out of the box performance is what you'll see here. I'm not doing a lot of tweaking yet. So in CSGO it is set to auto high. Just scrolling over it so you can see the default settings and what I'm playing with right now. Alright, I'm gonna speed this up a bit so we can get into actual performance. So if you would like to see any specific games tested, let me know in the comments below. I'm doing a separate video on optimizing drivers settings, Radeon settings specifically, to get the best performance out of this laptop. So again, let me know in the comments if there's anything specific you would like to see. Alright, as we can see here in the numbers, top left corner, the DirectX 9 actually in this case. I'm using MSI's Afterburner to test the frames, and it stays well above the 120 with occasional dips. Very, split second spikes. And I'm not gonna cover all of the gameplay. I've gone through about 30 minutes of each game. Next up is Overwatch. This one also stays above the 55 to 60 frames per second. Graphics quality is set to high and everything is at default. And again, I am doing a separate video to optimize or to get the best possible frames and quality out of this laptop. This is pretty much a primer, a first look at how this performs. This is my first experience with a Radeon, an AMD Radeon based gaming laptop. So the next game was a total surprise. PlayerUnknown's Battleground. It has not been the smoothest game to run even on more powerful systems, and it actually performed well on this laptop. At medium settings, again, everything is unchanged. At medium, it plays smooth, as you can see during gameplay where it matters. It stayed around the 45 to 50 frames per second range. It's not, your 60 and up frames, but hey, it is still smooth. It is very playable. I still get my kills in. I still get all the hits. Actually got a chicken dinner with this. And what I'm showing you here is just going through the training area to keep it short and to guarantee some shots with other people around. Textures are rendering. The ground textures were always render a bit later once you spawn in, but all my hits, everything registered. There's no desync, no lag, and again, that's surprising from Battlegrounds, from PUBG, from PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. But that is, they must have had another update to optimize, which is good, I guess. I might actually take another look at this game because I actually stopped playing this, but if it's this smooth on the laptop, I wonder what it's like on my main system Oscar mic. Ryzen 7 1800X, soon to be Ryzen 7 2700X. Thank you AMD for amazing products again. Alright, now I'm just rambling on, and we'll be moving on to the next game shortly, and that is Strange Brigade. Now, Strange Brigade is another one that surprised me. It did not perform as I thought it would. I actually had to drop it down to 720p on this laptop at low settings, or medium settings rather, to stay in the 20 or in the above 30 frames per second. While it's still playable, it is playable. No stuttering or lag during gameplay, but a bit annoying that I had to drop that down, or that low, especially considering the experience we had on stream, on the AMD stream with my Radeon RX Vegas. And again, I should not be comparing this to my main desktop system. This is this Acer Nitro 5 is a decent laptop for popular titles, esports titles. on the go. And anyway, here we have a Quake 3 or Quake Champions. Hello, Nix. And again, this is another one that could use some optimization. I'm leaving this on high. Everything is set to high. Texture quality, of course, you can't change on the 560. It'll come up with an error if you try to change that to anything higher than low, which is fine. I can, of course, work on shadow quality, lighting quality, and effects quality to get even higher frames, to stay in the 60 to 70 frames per second. So for any twitchy, fast reaction shooter FPSs like this game, you definitely want to stay up in the 50 and 60 frames per second or higher, of course. And that can definitely be achieved. So stay tuned for upcoming videos on optimizing this laptop specifically, getting the game settings. I'll share all that information. I'll also share it on the website. I'm working on updates for, well, on videos with upgrades for this specific laptop, hardware upgrades, doing the memory, adding more hard drive or more storage space. Ignore that, suicide. Don't look at the gameplay. I'm actually trying to talk while I'm recording this video, play while I'm recording this video. So anyway, yes, stay tuned for all that. I'll post all that information on in the description below as I'm updating that. And again, if you have any comments, questions, post them in the section below. If there's anything you would like to see tested. And no, I'm not testing Crysis, not on this laptop, but if I get enough requests for that, of course, I'll try it out. Yeah, I'm not expecting a whole lot out of that one. Anyway, this is Quake Champions. Performance stays around the 45 range frames. Not too bad, but not ideal. And everything is set on high by default, and I'm leaving it for this video. I'll be changing it later on, as I said. Okay, next up is well, I'm doing one more title, and that's going to be Rocket League. So Rocket League is another popular esports title that warrants a look at this laptop. If you love Rocket League, you definitely want to take a look at this laptop if you're looking for a portable solution, that is. Rocket League performs well at almost the max settings. It stays in the 60 frames, in the 60 frames range. It is very steady, one of the most steady games I've seen so far. And again, I am not doing any optimizations in this video. This is a quick look at the laptop out of the box and what kind of performance you can expect with an out of the box experience. So if there is anything you would like to see tested, let me know in the box below, in the comments below, and I will certainly take a look at it. I don't expect excuse me, don't expect outrageous performance on AAA titles. I certainly don't, Crysis, anything crazy like that. This is really meant for esports titles like this. It is a mid-range gaming laptop, lower to mid-range gaming laptop, and it does perform well for especially the titles that I tested out of the box, and I know I can squeeze more performance out of them, or out of this laptop on these games, and that will be covered in a different video at a later date. I will also be looking at upgrading this laptop, looking at the at memory and storage upgrades, which are very accessible. Thank you, Acer, for having all those ports, all the access ports easily available. And also, I want to thank you all for watching this video. Again, comments, questions, requests, put them in the description, or not in the description, in the comments below. And make sure you come and watch me on Tuesdays on twitch.tv/AMD at 5:30 Central Time. And I also stream on my own channel at twitch.tv Whiskey Foxtrot Actual, all one word of course, every day from 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And I usually end around 4 to 5 p.m. And again, proud member of the AMD Red Team, proud member of the AMD Stream Team. This has been an amazing 2 years for AMD. Lots of good news with Ryzen launches and the 2nd gen Ryzen, the RX Vega the Vega architecture, and everything upcoming for the next couple of years, for the next few years rather. They look very promising. Thank you AMD for delivering an amazing product. Thank you for offering us, the community, choices. You finally, well, not finally, but you have made it so that other brands actually have to do something now. They actually have to compete or try to compete. AMD is always going to be it for me. I'm not a fanboy. I'm just in love with the company. I'm in love with the community. It has been one of the most amazing communities I've been involved in over the last few years, well before Ryzen, of course. Anyway, I digress. I am going to end the video here soon. As you can see, the performance on Rocket League stays well in the 62 frames per second steadily, which is kind of odd, but it is actually moving up and down, but slightly. It doesn't have any major variances. So for an esports title, this has probably been the most stable title to play on this laptop. Anyway folks, thanks again for watching, and I will catch you on the next video where I'll be taking a look at the upgrades and other requests for gaming performance on this laptop. Again, this was the Acer 5 or the Nitro 5 by Acer. And again, thank you AMD for providing me with this laptop. It is there's some work to be done on this. I definitely need to look into some updates, some software updates, or at least driver updates. And I know over time, as with fine wine, AMD Radeon drivers just get better and better. So stay tuned for video releases as more details become available to me. Thanks again, and I will catch you guys later. If you like this video, hit that like button. If you want to sub, hey, go ahead and do so you'll be notified on when a new video is posted. So catch you guys later.